Dear friends, welcome to another episode of The Situation Room. In today's episode, we'll cover the arrival of a powerful U.S. Navy fleet in the southern Caribbean, just off the coast of Venezuela, and the real mission behind this deployment. If you haven't subscribed yet, make sure to hit that button and turn on notifications so you don't miss any updates. Over the past few days, Latin America has returned to the global spotlight with the sudden deployment of a large U.S. Navy task force near Venezuelan waters. Washington officially claims this operation is aimed at combating drug cartels. But many analysts believe the real target is the dictatorship of Nicolas Maduro. Former President Donald Trump announced the deployment of 7 U.S. warships and at least 1 nuclear-powered attack submarine carrying more than 4,500 sailors and Marines. Among them are large amphibious assault ships like the USS San Antonio, USS Iwo Jima, and USS Fort Lauderdale, vessels capable of transporting thousands of Marines, tanks, helicopters, artillery, and even launching Tomahawk cruise missiles. The White House says the goal is to cut drug smuggling routes used by cartels such as Cartel de los Soles, which U.S. prosecutors accuse of being led by none other than Nicolas Maduro himself. Trump stated he would use all instruments of American power to keep narcotics out of U.S. territory. But here's the problem. Most cocaine shipments to the United States actually move through the Pacific Ocean or Central America, not the Caribbean where this fleet is now positioned. That raises the question, is this really about cartels? Or is it about putting direct pressure on Maduro's regime? This theory gained traction after Washington doubled the bounty on Maduro's head to $50 million, the same level once offered for Saddam Hussein and Osama bin Laden. The Maduro dictatorship for Americans who may not be familiar with the details. Nicolas Maduro has ruled Venezuela since 2013 after Hugo Chávez's death. His regime is widely considered a dictatorship, marked by fraudulent elections, brutal repression of dissent, and an economy in total collapse. In the 2024 elections, Maduro was accused of massive fraud to stay in power. The real winner, opposition candidate Edmundo González, was forced into exile in Spain after thousands of protesters were jailed. Today, over 2,000 political prisoners remain behind bars. At the same time, Maduro relies on so-called Bolivarian militias, made up of poor civilians or retirees with little or no training, mobilized mainly to show loyalty in exchange for government benefits. In a country where food and medicine are extremely scarce. This is why Washington increasingly sees Maduro not just as a corrupt dictator, but as the head of a narco-state directly undermining regional stability. Historical echoes. Maduro's government denounced the U.S. naval deployment as gunboat diplomacy, a reference to 19th century tactics where powerful navies intimidated weaker nations. He even compared it to Commodore Matthew Perry's expedition to Japan in 1853. But critics say the comparison is absurd. Unlike Japan back then, Venezuela today is ruled by a tyrant who has destroyed democratic institutions, plunged millions into poverty, and aligned with hostile powers like Russia and Iran. The strategic ambiguity. Here's what makes this operation unusual. The U.S. fleet is too large to be explained as just an anti-drug mission, but it's also too small to launch a full-scale invasion like Panama in 1989, when 28,000 troops captured dictator Manuel Noriega. That leaves experts debating, is this a calculated show of force to weaken Maduro politically, or simply a deterrent signal to keep Caracas in check? What it means for America. For the United States, this is about more than just Venezuela. A failed narco-dictatorship on America's doorstep threatens not only regional security but also fuels migration crises, drug trafficking, and alliances with America's adversaries. Trump's strategy appears clear: keep Maduro under maximum pressure. But for Maduro, this is also an opportunity. he portrays himself as a defender of Venezuelan sovereignty against U.S. imperialism, hoping to rally what remains of his base around nationalist pride. Final thoughts. The deployment of U.S. warships to the Caribbean is not just about drugs. It's about the survival of one of the last dictatorships in the Western Hemisphere, and whether Washington can force change without direct intervention. The world now watches closely. Will this pressure campaign push Maduro closer to collapse? Or will he dig in using America's actions to strengthen his grip at home? One thing is certain, this standoff is far from over. And once again, if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, make sure to do so and hit the bell icon to stay updated.
¡Viva!